Alright, Intel drop incoming. You think that 22-year-old girl with the perfect smile chose you? You, the 58-year-old divorcee with a bad back and a shrinking retirement account? Let me tell you who she really chose. Her mother's new roof, her brother's tuition, and a 5-year exit plan from a kind of generational poverty you can't even imagine. I've had a front row seat to their playbook for my entire life, and tonight I'm handing you the stolen copy. Pay attention because class is in session. You've been warned. This isn't a relationship guide. It's a field manual for a war you're already losing because you think it's a vacation. You arrive here after a messy divorce or a lifetime of feeling invisible, with a target on your back painted in dollars and loneliness. You see a damsel in distress. She and her entire barangay see a walking, talking financial solution. Every sweet I love you honey is a line item on an invoice you haven't seen yet. This is your only warning. Dating in the Philippines isn't a romance novel. It's a high stakes poker game played in the dark. Every sob story about a sick auntie is a probe, a small bet to see if you'll flinch. Every tear is a calculated move to see if you'll fold or if you'll raise by pulling out your wallet. You think you're playing for love, but you're the only one at the table who doesn't know the real currency is survival. And your opponent has been playing this game since she could walk. Make no mistake, your opponent isn't just the girl in front of you. You are playing against the entire table, her mother, her cousins, the tita net of neighborhood gossips who function as a board of directors vetting their latest investment. You. They share strategies, they compare notes, and they enforce the rules. You aren't being interviewed for the position of boyfriend, you are being audited for the role of sponsor. And if you fail their due diligence, the deal is off before you even knew it was on. This is why you need a manual. The men who come here unprepared become cautionary tales. They are the ghosts you see in the bars, the ones with empty eyes and even emptier bank accounts, telling stories of how they were so in love before she took everything. They bet the entire farm on a single hand, believing it was destiny, when it was just a brutally efficient business transaction. They lost because they didn't know the rules. They didn't even know they were playing a game. So, you need to decide what you're really made of, right now, before we go any further. Because I'm about to lay out the rules that will keep you from becoming another broke, heartbroken statistic. But you have to be ready to accept a very ugly truth about what's really happening when she smiles at you. Forget everything you think you know about romance. Forget the fantasy. So, are you here for love? Are you here for sex? Or are you here for survival? Alright, you've decided to stay. Brave or just stupid? We'll find out. Let's get your map oriented. Your first mistake is thinking you're the only soldier on this beach. Look around the bar. See that guy? 50 pounds heavier and 10 years older than you? He's your competition. And that fresh-faced kid from Australia who just got here? He's competition too. You're all fighting for the same prize, and the only way you know how to compete is by throwing money at the objective. This isn't a battle of wits, it's an auction. I saw it last week. This sad sack, we'll call him Dave, saw another guy, a German, buying drinks for a girl he liked. So what does Dave do? He doesn't talk to her, he doesn't make her laugh. He walks over and tells her he'll pay for her sister's exam fees. He won the battle that night for the price of 10,000 pesos. The next morning he was alone, and the girl was laughing about it with her friends. He didn't buy a connection, he just paid the cover charge for his own humiliation. Your second mistake is getting high on your own supply. The supply isn't sex, it's validation. You've been invisible for 20 years, and now, suddenly, a woman half your age is telling you you're handsome, you're smart, you're the best man she's ever met. It's a drug more powerful than any a street dealer could offer you. You get so addicted to the feeling of being wanted that you'll do anything, pay anything to keep the hits coming. She's not your girlfriend. She's your dealer, and you're her easiest customer. And this leads to the third mistake, falling for the ambush. The first emergency is never a real emergency. The sick grandmother, the landlord threatening eviction, it's a probe. It's a sniper taking a shot to see if you'll dive for cover or stand there, chest out, ready to take the bullet. It's a carefully planned ambush on the lonely road you're traveling. Your desperation to be the hero, to be the solution, makes you the perfect, predictable target. You wire the money, and all you prove is that you're willing to bleed. These are just the tripwires, the simple traps laid for the rookies. Paying for attention, getting hooked on cheap compliments, and funding the first sob story you hear. These are the entry level blunders. They'll drain your wallet slowly, a few $100s at a time, while making you feel like a big man. But this is still the easy level. The next mistake I'm going to show you is the one that destroys not just your bank account, but your entire reputation, leaving you with nothing. Pay attention. Now we get to the real meat of the operation. The mistakes that separate the men who go home with their dignity from the ones who end up as a footnote in a police report. The fourth mistake is believing this is a marriage, not a mining operation. You are a resource to be extracted. Phase 1, exploration, finding you. Phase 2, drilling, the monthly allowance, the emergencies. Phase 3, divestment, when the mine runs dry or a richer vein is found. You're not building a future, you are funding a project life cycle, and your heart is just collateral damage. And if the extraction isn't happening fast enough, they'll manufacture a crisis of competition. This is mistake number 5, falling for the jealousy trap. Suddenly, she'll get texts from a new friend or mention that guy from Dubai who's back in town and flashing money. It's a beautifully simple tactic. Your fear of losing your investment, that sweet validation you're so hooked on, makes you panic. You don't want to lose her to a higher bidder, so you increase your bid. You weren't in a relationship, you were in an auction, and you just drove up your own price. This brings us to the core of your survival. You must decide if you are the captain of your ship or if you are the taxi driver. The captain sets the destination, the rules, the terms of engagement. He knows where he is going. The taxi driver just gets told where to turn, taken on a long, expensive ride from one sob story to the next, and gets a cheap tip at the end. Right now, you are the taxi. Every emergency is just another address she's putting in the GPS, and you just keep driving. To be the captain, you have to seize the frame. It's the only defense that works. You must state your terms out loud. I am not a bank. I am not a solution. When she brings you a problem, you don't bring her cash. You ask, "What's your plan?" You offer advice, not a wire transfer. You stop being her hero, you stop being her savior, and you force her to see you as a man with a will of his own, not a wallet with a man attached to it. See, all these intermediate traps, the mining project, the jealousy games, the taxi ride, are designed to keep you emotional, to keep you paying for a fantasy. They work because you are negotiating for a future that only exists in your head. You're paying with the hope that this is real, that you are special. But the real game, the one where you might actually have a chance, doesn't begin until you're willing to lose her. The entire game changes when you stop negotiating with hope. Enough. The diagnosis is over. I've shown you the battlefield, I've pointed out the mines. Now, we stop admiring the problem and start building the weapon to solve it. This is the part where you shut off the emotions and turn on the tactical brain. Your heart is a liability here. We're replacing it with a checklist. Think of me as your air traffic controller. Your life is a runway, and we are not clearing any flights for takeoff until they pass a full pre-flight inspection. No exceptions. This is your new operating system. We call it the runway protocol. It's a simple 4-step framework. Filter, test, decide, and exit. Before you invest one more peso or one more minute, you will run every interaction through this system. Her ambition is the jet, ready for takeoff. Your job is to be the long, stable, well funded runway. But not every jet is cleared for departure. First, you filter. You listen to the flight plan. Is her destination a life with you or a life funded by you? Next, you run the test, the poker table probe. The first sob story about a sick auntie or a lost phone isn't a tragedy, it's a diagnostic check. It's a small bet to see if you'll flinch and pull out your wallet. Your response is the test. Don't offer cash, offer advice. Ask, that sounds terrible. What is your plan to fix it? Her reaction is the only data you need. Does she have a plan, or were you the plan all along? This is how you find out. Now, the decision. Based on the data from your test, you make a choice. It is cold. It is binary. If she respected your boundary and showed she has a plan, you can proceed with caution. If she got angry, cried, or doubled down on the demand, the test is over. She failed. You are not her captain. You are just the taxi she ordered. The decision then is simple. You have to stop the ride. You are not going to her destination. This leads to the final step, exit. A failed test doesn't lead to a negotiation, it leads to a system shutdown. You don't argue, you don't explain, you don't ghost. You simply divest. You become a closed off runway. The flight is cancelled. This is the framework. Filter, test, decide, exit. I want you to burn it into your brain. Write it on your hand if you have to. Because in the next briefing, we start running live drills in the field. This is your final warning before deployment. The runway protocol is live. This isn't a drill, it's a kill or be killed engagement, and the enemy is coming from all sides. Think of it like this: your relationship is a ping pong table. Right now, you're so far from the table, you're just lunging for every ball she smashes at you. The attacks are coming fast. A text. Honey, I'm crying. My phone fell and the screen is broken. I can't talk to you. Followed by another. My sister just messaged me. The landlord is kicking her out tonight. Sex, money, loneliness. It's a multi-ball attack designed to overwhelm you. The old you would panic, scrambling to return every shot with cash. You'd lose the point before it even began. But the captain stands his ground. You see the table. This isn't a crisis, it's a volley. You run the protocol. Filter. Her flight plan is a sudden, unverified emergency. Red flag. Test. You don't offer money. You don't react to her serve. You force her to play on your terms. You text back. That sounds terrible. Use your sister's phone and call me. We need a plan. You just return the serve to her forehand. Now, her reaction is the only data that matters. She can either call you, ready to be a partner and make a plan, or she can smash another ball of emotion at you. You don't trust me. After everything, I need help, not a business meeting. And there it is. The test result is in. Negative. She didn't want a captain. She wanted a taxi to the nearest ATM. The decision is made for you. Decide. This flight is grounded. Exit. You don't engage the drama. You simply go silent. The silence is deafening, I know. It's the sound of your own victory, and it feels like loneliness. But you didn't lose a potential wife. You dodged a bullet. You didn't save a few $100. You saved your future. You let her lose the point by smashing the ball into the net. You held the frame. She broke. You have just witnessed the protocol working under fire. You have to be willing to endure the quiet to win the war, because you are not here to play her game. This is the entire point. The game isn't love, it's ping pong. And if you are not at the table with your feet planted, ready to return the serve with a strategy, you will be beaten by a child. She will keep you running around the room, chasing her shots, until you collapse from exhaustion. But there is one final law of this jungle. It's the one that moves you from defense to offense. It's the one that lets you serve the ball for once. Pay attention. So let's be clear about the final law. You are the flower, not the bee. You cannot chase her. You must be so full of value, so secure in your own ground, that she has no choice but to come to you for nectar. The runway protocol, the poker table probe, being the captain, these aren't defenses. They are your fragrance, your color, your strength. They are the signals that tell her you are a high-value resource worth negotiating with, not a dying weed to be plucked and discarded. This is how you finally serve. Remember this. The sting of loneliness is nothing compared to the slow rotting shame of being played for a fool. Every man I told you about, every ghost in those bars, had a choice. They chose the easy comfort of the fantasy over the hard work of reality. In this war, you are either the strategist who wrote the damn rulebook, or you are the casualty they tell stories about. Stop hoping for a fairy tale and start executing a battle plan. Your dignity depends on it right now. Your war is not fought alone. There are thousands of men on this field, and this channel is our command tent. Your mission starts now. Go to the comments section and report which rule hit you the hardest. Was it the poker probe? Are you a taxi driver? Your debrief will help the soldier next to you identify the enemy. Subscribe for more intel drops because our operational security depends on every man knowing the playbook. We leave no soldier behind, but you have to show up for muster. If this intel just saved you from becoming another cautionary tale, then fund the next mission. Every dollar you send through PayPal or Super Thanks keeps this network secure and the intel flowing to men who need it. It buys them a future that isn't paid for with shame. So here is your first direct order, Captain. In the next 24 hours, you will review your last transaction. Was it a payment or an investment? Decide. Now go out there and make them beg to lose. Stay sharp. End transmission.